Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to I Roll It. I Review It. And I rolled the Peacock, and I got Dreamscape, 1984, starring a whole bunch of people. If you watched the end of my last video, you know I was like Dennis Quaid, Kate Capshaw, Max von Sydow, Christopher Plummer, Eddie Albert, and also David Patrick Kelly. Yes, you may not know him by the name, but you see him, you know. Warriors, come out to play. Hey, fire it up, fire it up. Hey, fire it up, fire it up. He's been in The Warriors, The Crow. He was in with The Longest Yard, the one with Adam Sandler, that is. He's been in, I can't remember anything else he's been in right now. This, Commando. That's right. He was in 48 Hours. Commando. He was Sully. Remember Sully when I promised to kill you last? That's right. You did. I lied. Yes. So the film is based around Alex Gardner, played by Dennis Quaid, who is a psychic, whose talents that he's been using only for personal gain. You know, horse races and all that stuff. And womanizing and all that. When he was 19 years old, he had been subject of a research project documenting psychic ability, but left in the middle of the study. That's the whole thing. But the movie opens up with the scene I was talking about at the end of my last video, where I said there's a woman, very bad green screen, with in front of a nuclear explosion, and then Eddie Albert wakes up, and then I was right. It was Christopher Plummer that comes in to talk to him. And I'm like, I didn't have the sound on, or you can hear it. I'm like, okay, that's weird. It's about dreams. And it's about as confusing as Inception is, but I think it's less confusing than Inception. And half the runtime. 99 minutes. Just over the target, but you know it works. And yeah, yeah. So they need Alex help. Alex is on the run from two thugs of a gangster and extortionist named Sneed. And he allows himself to be taken by two men, Finch and Babcock, who say that they represent an academic institution. I do like he's like, oh, what if I just jump out? What if I just jump for it? And they lock the door, and I'm like, they're like, we're not gonna let you. And I'm like, aren't you psychic? Just unlock the door and do it. I don't think it's that kind of psychic, because never once does he actually use telepathy. He just, something about dreams, I guess, is all he can do. He doesn't have telepathy. He just, like, psychic is he can read minds, I guess? I guess for some gambling it works, but there's a scene later in the film where he's like, well, I can give you winners. And I'm like, in horse races, I'm like, but you can't predict horse races by reading minds. I guess there is a theory. I mean, I've seen it in other shows. I think Psych did one where they dart a horse to make it lose. You know, for the financial game where it's like, oh, it's the one that's been winning for all this time, so you dart it so it loses, and then people lose a lot of money off of it or whatever. But I don't know. I can't predict the winners. Just you predict which one doesn't win. I guess. I don't know. It's confusing. So he's basically forced to do this. He has no real choice, but he goes in and he meets a fellow scientist, Dr. Jane DeVries. Kate Capshaw, looking gorgeous as ever. Same year as Temple of Doom, my favorite Indiana Jones movie. The best Indiana Jones movie, by the way. To this day, nothing has gotten better. Before she married Spielberg, popped out a bunch of kids and got plastic surgery on her face. You know, all the talks about outlawing smoking and outlawing this and outlawing that. Can we outlaw plastic surgery on the face? No Botox, no surgical implants on the face, nothing. Get your boobs as big as you want them. All right? Make your dick big as the door or something. But don't mess with the face. Okay? Because half of the time, you see a lot of this. Most, when people are calling it out now and saying you look like a fucking alien, I don't know what happened to Olivia Wilde. You see that? Like, oh, it's the lighting. She did have makeup on, but like then she addressed it and she looked perfectly fine. And I'm like, what? And then of course she got experiences. There's celebrities are being replaced by reptile people. Okay, sure, but I don't know. But yeah, don't get plastic surgery on your face. You look stupid. Even but just lip fillers. No, because even that looks fucking stupid. I'm sorry, it does. Right? It does. Because you're like, oh, they're so natural. It looks so natural. No, you don't. And Botox, like, oh look, I'm so happy. I can't smile to prove it, but I am so happy. I don't know. Anyway, she's developed a technique that allows psychics to voluntarily link with the minds of others, projecting them into subconscious during REM sleep. Wherein Novotny equates the original idea to practice of Senoi natives in Malaysia who believe the dream world is just as real as reality. Which, you join a dream, you die in real life, there's a whole thing. The project was intended for clinical use to diagnose and treat sleep disorders, particularly nightmares. But it has been hijacked by the government. Bob Blair, Christopher Plummer, who I since find out is Canadian and not British. Novotny convinces Alex join the program in order to investigate Blair's intentions. So, yeah. So then we got the dream sequences. And I don't know what... Some sequences... Did they edit out gore? I didn't see what this was rated. You stop. Doesn't give me a rating. It just says horror, sci-fi horror, 1984, 1 hour and 39 minutes. Here? No. Why doesn't it give me a rating? PG-13. Give it the 80s PG-13. So, take that for what you will. So maybe something was edited out, because there's a point later in the film where David Patrick Kelly pulls a guy's heart out, and it feels like there's a weird edit where he goes to do it and he pulls it out and he goes, Come on, Alex. Have a heart. It's kind of funny. It's like, okay, and then there's weird edits too. And then, is that a part of the dream element? Because there's sometimes in the dream where they have a weird edit where he's like running and it's like laggy a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Alex helps a man who was worried about his wife's infidelity, and I laughed my ass off because it's a dream. Where he's like, really? With my best friend? And then he turns and goes, in front of the kids? And then there's like a bunch of his buddies underneath the bed and in the window. And I'm like, how? That's how you know it's a dream. I'm like, how? It is a bad dream, right? And then there is also a kid named Buddy who has nightmares. Apparently so bad that a previous psychic lost his sanity trying to help him. There's a Snake Man, which has one of the biggest, sequences in the film. It's stop motion. It's done pretty well, and it's a pretty cool sequence, Oh, I didn't realize that what it was. There's a dream sequence where he has sex with Jane, and she freaks out. She's pissed off, and he's like, "Well, it's just a dream." I'm like, "What was it his dream and she was monitoring it?" No, it's her dream that he snuck into to have sex with her. Technically, that's not grape because it didn't physically happen, but it's the 80s, man. But he points out, I didn't do it. I did it without any kind of technology. I did it on my own, which no one else has been able to do. So he gets help from novelist Charlie Prince. Who is that now? George Wendt. Rest in peace. Okay. It's because I missed the George Wendt part. Who has been secretly investigating the project for a new book. Alex learns that Blair tends to use the dream linking technique for an assassination. For who? The president, Eddie Albert, the president. Yeah, he's going to do that. Because Eddie Albert, the president, wants to get this end the Cold War, which is a good thing, but apparently not a good thing for the government or for... I don't understand it. He's like, so is he a bad guy? And he's like, you can't do this. This is not... I'm like, what? Blair murders Prince and Novotny. Silence him. So then the president is brought in as a patient during the recurring nightmares. So, are they inducing these nightmares? I don't know if it's ever explained. Blair assigns David Patrick Kelly in, a mentally unstable patient psychic who murdered his own father to enter the prison's nightmare and assassinate him. Because Blair considers the president's nightmares about nuclear holocaust a sign of political weakness. She deems a liability in upcoming negotiations for nuclear disarmament. Explain. So, does he want the nuclear disarmament thing to go through? Because I think that's what the president wants to stop. Wants to, negotiate nuclear disarmament. And apparently he doesn't. Alex escapes from a car with Blair and his goons and flees a motorcycle and ends up at the racetrack where it needs thugs work. He makes a deal with them to call 5 winners at a racetrack. And this is the scene where I'm like, how can you predict the winners? Just by reading minds. If he had telepathy and could set it up for the certain winners to win, that's one thing. But when he can just read minds, how could he? It doesn't make any sense. Exchange for distracting players' goons, and they agree to it. He gets back to the institution. Jane lets him sneak in. He discovers Novotny's dead body and forces one of Blair's goons to tell him about the plan to kill the president. Forces. So what? Can he... I missed a bunch of stuff, apparently. Can he make the horse win? I don't know. He projects himself into the president's dream. And remember, post-war nuclear wasteland, try to protect him. And that's where Tommy rips out the police officer's heart and he goes, "Oh, come on, Alex. Have a heart." Tommy tries to incite a mutant mob against the president and battles Alex in the form of the Snake Man from Buddy's dream. And Alex turns into Tommy's murdered father in order to distract him, allowing the president to impale him with a spear. Yeah! America and all that stuff. President is grateful to Alex, but reluctant to confront Blair, who wields considerable political power. But Alex enters Blair's dream and kills him before Blair can retaliate. Retaliate is what I said. Retaliate. And so, yeah, apparently that's you can do that, and there's no backlash for that. And then there's a weird ending here where Alex and Jane are on a train. They're together now. They're on a train to Louisville, Kentucky. I intend to making their previous dream encounter reality. They're gonna, yeah. But the guy, the ticket collector, is the guy from Jane's dream earlier. But they just like, So are they actually in a dream? Or what? I think that's what it's intended to. But again, the ending to Inception is weirder. It's their attempt at, well, are they really there? Are they in a dream? I don't think it works as well as, does the top fall? Is he in a dream or isn't he? You know, sort of thing. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it pretty good. I feel like it's nice little 80s flick. You know, I've heard of it. I feel like it's one of those that isn't, talked about. But yeah, let's look at the reception of this actually before I go. I was hoping to say something about just going to so let's go ahead and roll then. And by the way, this next one will be the last one I do for now. I'll come back to it. I haven't decided if I'm even going to roll at the end of the next one. I'm just going to... I'll figure it out. 3. I need to get my paper back to... So what did I roll? 3? HBO Max. And then 5. Comedy. Yay, me. Let's go. What will be the last one for now? I wonder. Movies. The Bride is in there. We'll start with comedy movies for you. We'll roll. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Freaky Tales. I'm trying to read. I would like to roll again. I'll go back to the start with the Bride, and I'd like to roll again. Give me a big number, damn it. 8. No, give me a. Keep the 6. Roll. 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pitch Perfect 3 was on here. 8. Game Night. Okay? Game Night. With Patrick Bateman. Alright, so I know it's a little off now I've done that. Okay. So what are your thoughts on Dreamscape? Link up so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky and I'll see you in the next one.